All right, so with the Raptors making all their trade deadline moves a little while ago, and we had a couple videos out, and that did fantastic. I appreciate all you guys' support. The Raptors, clearly, they look like a better team out there. Now, it's time for the Leafs, right? They have their needs, and their needs, we know, are defense and more or less that third, fourth line kind of center role. And they answered that role today as they acquired center Brian Boyle from the Tampa Bay Lightning for a second-round pick and Byron Froese. Let's break down each kind of thing in this trade. Byron Froese, he played a good bit last year with the Leafs because, come on, they were the Leafs last year. Everyone was getting a shot. He did play a lot of games, but, he didn't really pan out the way a lot of people thought because of his AHL numbers. He was very good in the AHL, but couldn't really transfer that into the NHL last season. And he's like a 24, 25-year-old kind of... he's not like a young guy, right? So he, it wasn't really a big need, right? You didn't need Byron Froese in this team. There were pieces above him in kind of like the... in the system, right? So you were okay with trading that. I was totally fine with that trade. Second round pick. Now, there's no condition. It's not a conditional second round. But the condition on the pick is it is the best pick possible. So we have 3 second-round picks this year. If you guys remember, in the Dion Phaneuf trade, we got a second-round pick. If you know, from Roman Polak last year, we got a second-round pick. Well, him and Smalling. But we got a second-round pick last year from that. And obviously, our own pick. So there's 3 picks. Now, whichever is the higher draft pick, that goes to Tampa. Which... it's a second-round pick. The Leafs, if they make the playoffs, that's going to be more or less a 20-plus pick. And Ottawa and San Jose are probably going to make the playoffs, so they're going to be 20-plus picks. So they're all really going to be around the same. So really, you're just getting rid of a mid to late second-round pick, unless the Leafs fall off. But I can't see that really happening. So it's not a bad thing. Yes, second-round picks and draft picks scare Leaf fans because, oh no, that could come back and really bite us. He could be the next like Ovechkin or Crosby or whomever you want to say out of that pick. But you know what? As of right now, that is a fantastic trade because Brian Boyle can play third-line time. He can play fourth-line time. He can for sure penalty kill. Good face-off man. And, oh yeah, however you want to measure this guy, he's between 6'6" and 6'8". More or less 6 and 6'7" kind of thing. He is a big man. He is a monster. And the reason I like him so much is the Leafs have had so many problems keeping the puck out of the net. That has been the issue this year. Now, getting Brian Boyle to play the fourth line and sometimes the third line, depending on the situation, that is going to help this team dramatically. He is a big piece, no pun intended because he's massive, but he helps this team on a ridiculous level. If the Leafs are trying to guard a 1-goal lead late in the game, I know Babcock likes to play the rookies out there, and he might still do that. But you now also have Brian Boyle as that really big presence that you can throw out there and know you're going to get everything he can to keep that puck out of the net. Ideally, he can't do everything, but he's a great piece to have, and it's a fantastic trade for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You didn't give up a lot really at all. Byron Froese is... he's kind of done his time with the Leafs, per se. And the second-round pick, we have 3 of them. You trade him, great. We still got 2 more. And they're pretty much going to be around the same spot. Depending on how the playoffs and standings go and everything. But they should be around the same spot. It's not bad at all. I'm totally happy with this move. Now, Brian Boyle is 32 years old, and he is a unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. But it's not like he's going to want $6-7 million. He's going to want, his current contract's 2 point something? If you guys can let me know in the comments what exactly his contract is so we can get a gist of it. But I know it's 2 point something, and this is his last season out of a 3-year deal that he got with Tampa. He's going to be 30, he just turned 32. So he's going to be what? If you give him a 2-year deal, he'll be 34, right? I think the Leafs have flexibility to sign this guy. They're going to have contract flexibility with McCulloch and Colin Greening. Oh, yeah, you forgot about those guys. And Brooks Lake, you may have forgot about him. All 3 contracts there, they're going to be gone at the end of this season. So, that's just great news there. Plus, I mean, Brian Boyle's not going to be expensive. So you're not really losing out there. You're not trying to offer him a ridiculous amount. It's a great piece that will affect this team a great ton. Now, if we're talking ahead to this crazy big 3-game road trip that kills a lot of teams, emotionally and physically, Brian Boyle, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but it is most likely that he will play tomorrow against San Jose. So he's going to be right in the thick of things on the road trip, and it looks like it's not, like I said, not confirmed, but from the early morning skates and things like that, it looks like Bozak and maybe Marner, maybe both guys, if not one or the other, or if not even both. But it's been said that they both might be playing tomorrow. It is almost confirmed. We're just going to wait for that one word. They're confirmed to play. But if you get Brian Boyle in the lineup, you get Bozak back, you get Marner back, I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is Bozak will impact the team. Brian Boyle will for sure impact the team. And we all know what Mitch Marner is going to bring to the dang team. You know, he's just going to be a stud out there. Right? So this Brian Boyle trade, if we're trying to say, okay, who won this trade? If you're kind of not a biased Leaf fan or not a biased Lightning fan, and you're saying, who won this deal? In my eyes, I think the Leafs won this trade. I don't think there's any question that the Leafs won this trade. Byron Froese, I mean, he's not a great NHLer. He can play, but is he great? Is he good? Is he great? Yeah, I don't know about that. And the second round pick, that could be a late second round pick, pretty much almost a third round pick, depending on how the playoffs go for the Leafs, Sens, and Sharks. You know, if the Leafs and Sens play in the conference finals and the Sharks play in the finals against one of us too, that's going to be a garbage pick. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if it does, that's, you know, the Leafs did a very good job. Lou Lamoriello did a great job, and I really thought Tampa could get even a little bit more for Brian Boyle because he's such a great all-around player, and he can pot in a few goals. He has 13 goals this year. He's got, 20-something odd points, right? I think he's a great player. He's got 22 points, 13 goals, you know. And also, on a team that's struggling like Tampa is, you know, they're a team that's just 2 games over 500. They haven't been finding their streak all year long. They've been hurt. Obviously, Stamkos been out. Now they trade Ben Bishop. They were trying to unload something, and it looks like they weren't getting enough for Brian Boyle that they thought. And the Leafs kind of stole Brian. Well, I wouldn't say stole him, but the Leafs, in my eyes, got the better end of this deal, and I'm very pleased to have Brian Boyle. And if they can re-sign him in the offseason, that's a huge bonus. Right? He's only 32. He has that veteran presence, and he's not. I'm just reading this here. He's not just 6'6". He's almost 250 pounds. He is a big man. It's going to be a great presence on the ice. I can't wait to watch this guy play. I really, really can't. And if he plays that fourth line, him and Matt Martin together, look out. There's going to be bodies flying everywhere. I love it. And they throw Soshnikov or Levo or whoever's playing on that line at what night. It's going to be a good lineup. I'm really enjoying what they did here. I think you guys can agree with that. So you know what? That's going to do it for this one, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video and you enjoyed the trade, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't already. It really does mean a lot when you guys hit those subscribe buttons. It really does. Shows me that you like the videos, and I keep pounding them out for you. So comment down below what you guys thought of this trade. You know, who won this trade? If that's the question of this video, if that's the question that you guys are all thinking, what do you think? Do you think the Leafs won the trade, or did the Lightning win the trade? Like I said, my eyes, the Leafs won the trade. Not a biased Leaf fan. I know I am a Leaf fan, a diehard. But if I'm thinking hockey, the Leafs won that trade. All right? So we'll talk to you guys a little later on tonight, Raptors edition, as they're in New York taking on the Knicks. And also, oh boy, tomorrow, Leafs edition, as they're on that West Coast deadly streak as they're taking on the San Jose Sharks. 10:30 puck drop. See if we can stay awake for that one. Hopefully, we'll possibly get the video out to you guys Tuesday night. We'll have to wait and see. So we'll see you guys then.